to Deep Sleep Stories. Thank you to everyone who's been listening. If these stories help you relax or fall asleep, a short review, comment, or sharing the podcast with someone who might benefit is a simple and meaningful way to support the show so that we may continue to offer it for free. Now, take a slow, gentle breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories. In this moment, you find yourself seeking solace, a tranquil refuge from the day's thoughts. Gently close your eyes or simply lower your gaze, allowing that familiar wave of restful anticipation to wash over you. Breathe in softly, feeling the quiet hush that gathers at the base of each inhale. Notice how your shoulders descend, releasing tension into the gentle current of calm that begins to flow through your limbs. Exhale slowly, letting go of any lingering stress. Feel warmth gather at your center, a nurturing glow that encourages you to settle deeper into comfort. Tonight we will journey to the Plateau of Tibet, where an immense sky reveals a shimmering tapestry of stars and the soft, high-altitude wind whispers a lullaby of serene stillness. Let your breath become unhurried, your heart rate gently slowing as the story begins, weaving a tapestry of calm in your mind. Perhaps your jaw loosens, your brow smooths, and an easy peace begins to settle around you. With every heartbeat, you feel closer to rest, closer to a space where dreams glide in like softly padding footsteps across a quiet floor. Allow this sense of ease to guide you. Let your lungs expand and contract in a natural, soothing rhythm. Let everything else drift into a place of distant memory. Now let your mind wander, open yet unhurried, ready for the gentle, drifting tale that is about to unfold. Far across the world, in a corner of vast, rugged majesty, there rests a plateau high above sea level, a land that breathes the thin, crisp air of the Tibetan world. Here the sky stretches wide, a true canopy of sapphire blue in the daytime, and a theater of countless stars at night. Within this ancient, lofty expanse, a traveler arrives, stepping quietly onto the soft, worn earth that has been shaped by centuries of winds. The plateau is serene, a place where every breath feels sacred. Ahead of the traveler is a wide panorama of land and mountain peaks, each slope darkening into gentle silhouettes as twilight settles in. The late evening light, still clinging to the horizon, casts a wash of dusky purple across the undulating grasslands. Small tufts of hardy vegetation cling to the rocky soil, adapting over many centuries to the unique demands of these high elevations. The wind moves across the plateau with a soothing hush, ruffling blades of grass and carrying the faint scent of distant juniper. Time seems to slow as though each moment were suspended in the pristine clarity of thin air. Stones lie scattered in the distance, some forming ancient cairns, others simply marking the presence of geology in a place where the ground and the sky almost touch. The traveler, dressed in warm layers and carrying a simple pack, has come to this plateau with a quiet heart and an open spirit. There is no urgent mission, no pressing quest beyond the search for a few hours of stillness and the chance to witness the quiet spectacle of a star-filled night. The crisp atmosphere of the Tibetan highlands greets the traveler's lungs, a breath both invigorating and humbling. Each step upon the earth feels like a conversation with an ancient presence, as though the land itself breathes in tandem with whoever treads its surface. The traveler sets out, aiming to find a gentle spot for rest before darkness fully embraces the sky. In the western distance, the final sliver of sunlight glimmers, merging with the horizon's soft line. Distant peaks stand guard like silent watchtowers. Their edges melt from brilliant gold into a deepening shade of purple-blue. The traveler notices prayer flags in the far distance set near a tiny monastery perched on a small rise. These bright squares of fabric flutter in the wind, each movement as gentle as a murmured hymn. No one is visible near the monastery, but the traveler senses a presence in the air, an echo of centuries of devotion, a testament to the calm perseverance of the human spirit. A small cluster of tents is set up close by, belonging to local herders who tend their yaks. Soft bells from the yaks' necks ring out now and then. Their mellow chimes harmonize with the breeze, creating a lullaby of simple elemental music. Occasionally, a herder's voice calls to the animals, the tone low and comforting, merging with the wide hush. The traveler offers a gentle nod of greeting in their direction and continues walking until a quiet clearing invites a pause. There, on a flat expanse of slightly raised ground, the traveler lays down a small mat and sits. The grasses beneath are cool but not harsh, and the wind is present yet not cold. With eyes closed and hands resting on bent knees, the traveler breathes. The first inhalation is filled with the crisp clarity of altitude, tinged with a faint herbal note. The exhalation surrenders all sense of tension, letting the arms grow heavy, the legs sink into the earth, the heart rate settling into a kind and steady pulse. In this high place, the traveler feels both the immensity of the land and a gentle comfort, as if the plateau offers a silent welcome. After some moments of quiet reflection, the traveler opens their eyes to see that the evening has grown darker. The sky, now a deep cobalt, is dotted with the first bright stars. Little by little, these pinpoints of silver awaken, each one seemingly calling to another, until constellations begin to shimmer overhead. The traveler stands, carefully preparing a small campsite. The tent is modest, just large enough to offer shelter and a cozy interior. By the time it is pitched, the firmament above has bloomed with countless celestial lights. The entire sky is adorned with starlight, and each breath of wind seems to carry the promise of further night sky wonders. Within this hush, the traveler decides to walk a little farther to see the land from a slightly different vantage. Step by step, the gentle slope of the plateau reveals itself. Stones smoothed by the wind, pathways created by small desert creatures, the faint imprint of old footsteps left by pilgrims of long ago. There is a sense of timelessness here, an unhurried tapestry of life lived at nature's pace. Before long, the traveler finds a rock formation that offers a natural seat. Settling onto it, the traveler gazes upward. So many stars shine above that it is hard to know where to rest one's eyes. The traveler finds a comfortable rhythm in simply noticing the brightest clusters, then allowing sight to drift to new flickers at the edges of vision. Constellations from mythic lore look down as if wanting to be recognized, while more subtle groupings form their own hidden shapes in the immense cosmic canvas. A gentle breeze caresses the traveler's cheeks, weaving through the hair and carrying with it a hush that feels older than memory. Time becomes fluid. There is no need to track minutes or hours. The plateau exists in a realm where the passage of day and night follows a harmonious cycle, unhurried by any worldly clock. The traveler closes their eyes once more, hearing only the faint sound of wind and the gentle rustle of brush in the distance. The air is so clear that breath feels pure, and the traveler envisions this pristine energy coursing through every muscle, every quiet thought. Peace settles like a warm blanket around the shoulders. In the lull of night, the traveler's mind drifts back to the dawn, imagining how the sun's first rays must look when they crest over these distant peaks. But that is a far-off moment, and the present is a gift in which to linger. When the traveler finally rises, they do so with a slow, deliberate grace, careful to maintain the serene connection forged with the land. With gentle steps, they return to the tent, guided by moonlight and starlight, noticing how the grass sways in soft arcs beneath the faint glow. Inside the tent, the traveler lights a small lantern, which casts a warm, flickering light. The interior is modest but comforting, just enough space for a bedroll and a tiny cooking stove. A quiet cup of tea is prepared, the steam rising in gentle curls, dancing with the mellow glow of the lantern. The aroma of the tea, mildly floral and earthy, blends seamlessly with the crisp air. Each sip brings a soothing warmth, traveling down the throat and settling in the core with a sense of nurturing calm. Outside, the plateau continues its nightly vigil. The traveler listens to the wind pressing against the tent fabric, a soft ruffle that never disturbs the deep quiet, but rather amplifies it, as if reminding the listener of the elements at play. In the far distance, a faint chorus of yak bells tinkles. Perhaps the animals shift in their sleep, lulled by the same night sky. A hush surrounds everything, broken only by these small, reassuring sounds of life in a place shaped by wind, altitude, and the timeless interplay of day and night. The traveler reflects on the significance of being here in this vast, high-altitude realm. There are temples and monasteries perched on ridges throughout the land, each one a testament to the devotion that the plateau inspires. Centuries of pilgrims have braved the thin air, their footsteps echoing across valleys and passes. In the stillness of the tent, the traveler feels a kinship with these countless individuals who have sought peace in the embrace of this land's silence. Nothing urgent beckons. There is simply time, the infinite hush of night, and a gentle sense of communion with a place that remains largely untouched by the turmoil of modern life. After finishing the tea, the traveler dims the lantern and steps outside once again, feeling compelled to witness the sky in its true darkness without artificial light. The spectacle overhead is almost indescribable. Billions of stars, each shining in its own subtle way, create a tapestry so vast that it feels as though one could be swept into it by simply extending a hand. The traveler's breath catches for a moment at the beauty of it all. The mountains form dark silhouettes on the horizon, guardians of the sleeping earth. Far above, the infinite cosmos glitters. Shooting stars occasionally streak across the sky, gifts of radiant wonder that vanish as quickly as they appear. Softly, the traveler smiles in awe and gratitude. Soon, the chill of night air reminds the traveler to seek warmth inside the tent. Slipping into the bedroll, the traveler finds comfort in the layered blankets, adjusting them until the body is nestled in a cocoon of softness. The wind outside remains gentle, almost like a whisper of reassurance. The traveler's eyelids feel heavy, lulled by the altitude, the quiet, and the subtle hum of starlight that seems to permeate everything. Drifting between wakefulness and dream, the traveler hears only the faint hush of the breeze, the delicate rustling of tent fabric, and the slow, steady rhythm of their own breathing. Hours pass in this cocoon of rest, and the traveler, wrapped in the deepest slumber, dreams of valleys blanketed in morning light, of distant chanting in unseen monasteries, of swirling prayer flags sending wishes into the wind. The dreams themselves are gently woven from the timeless essence of the plateau, a sense that beyond all daily cares, the world holds a quiet wellspring of peace for those who pause to listen. And so the traveler continues to drift, eyes closed, body warm, spirit calmed by the knowledge that the sky outside is alive with countless stars, watching over the night as it has done for millennia. Eventually the traveler wakes, not yet to the dawn, but to a subtle shift in the night air. Opening the tent flap a fraction, the traveler peers out to see that the horizon has taken on a soft, almost imperceptible glow. The stars remain, though less vibrant now, as if gradually making room for the arrival of morning. The traveler steps out and takes in the scene. The plateau lies in stillness, as though holding its breath before the dawn. The distant mountains are hushed in silhouette, awaiting the first touch of sunlight. A faint fragrance of morning dew mingles with the dryness of the high-altitude air. Even the wind seems to rest, only stirring occasionally, carrying the gentle note of some hidden water source trickling in the distance. A calm sense of anticipation fills the traveler's heart. In the east, the sky transitions from deep navy to a paler shade, hinting at the day's approach. The traveler finds a comfortable seat again and watches, breath steady, eyes half closed. Slowly, a glow emerges behind the peaks, the sky's color shifting through gradients of lavender and rose. The traveler can feel the gentle warmth that precedes sunrise, a subtle sign that life is renewing itself once more. Finally, the sun's edge crests the horizon, its light spilling into the sky like liquid gold. Rays stretch across the plateau, illuminating the frost-tipped grasses with a radiant sheen. The traveler exhales in awe, acknowledging the simple miracle of night yielding today. But the story of this high-altitude land is not confined to one morning or one traveler's visit. It is a continuing tale of quiet days and star-filled nights, of winds that traverse mountain passes and bring their whispers to the wide plateau. As the sun ascends, the traveler, feeling enriched by this silent communion with the cosmic dance, decides to pack up the campsite. There is no rush, no hurry. Each task is performed in a slow, mindful manner, as though every movement itself is a form of meditation. The tent is folded with care, the sleeping bag rolled gently, the small stove and lantern stored away. The traveler's footprints are soft, leaving only a faint trace that will soon be brushed away by the wind. Before departing, the traveler bows the head for a moment, offering silent thanks to the plateau and its unending capacity to soothe. With belongings gathered, the traveler starts walking north, where a narrow path leads toward another distant vista. The sun has risen higher now, and the plateau begins its daytime life. Here and there, small creatures skitter among rocks. Birds take flight in wide arcs across the open sky, and the mild morning breeze carries the sound of rustling brush. In the distance, the herders stir, greeting the day with calls to their yaks, ensuring the animals graze and wander comfortably. The traveler moves along, each footstep connecting with the ground in a slow and measured cadence, as though guided by some innate harmony. It is at times like this that the traveler reflects on how a place can be both vast and intimate. The plateau, grand in its dimensions, can also feel like a sanctuary, offering a sense of closeness between a single human being and the land's ancient spirit. The traveler passes wildflowers that cling to gravelly soil, their petals small yet bright, a testament to resilience at high altitude. Occasionally, a bird's cry echoes overhead, startlingly clear in the open air. The traveler listens, letting that lonely note resonate for a moment before it fades into the soft whir of the wind. After a time, the traveler comes upon a shallow stream that winds its way through the plateau, fed by distant snowmelt. The water is crystal clear, reflecting the sky in such detail that it seems like a piece of sky has found its way to the earth. Kneeling at the stream's edge, the traveler touches the cool surface, the chill a gentle jolt that refreshes the senses. Around this meandering course, tiny tufts of grass grow in abundance, the water giving life to small green pockets. The traveler fills a small bottle and takes a careful sip, appreciating the crisp purity of mountain water. There is a sense of gratitude for the land's generosity, for the precious resource that flows quietly across the plateau. Continuing onward, the traveler notices a small gathering of stones arranged in a circle, as if placed there by unknown hands. Perhaps it was once a site for meditation or a boundary for a campfire. Intrigued, the traveler steps closer, feeling a subtle energy in that circle, as though stories of previous travelers linger there. The mind wanders to thoughts of how many have ventured through these high passes, pilgrims, traders, seekers of wisdom. Each one left behind traces of their own quiet awe, weaving a tapestry of human connection across centuries. As midday approaches, the sun's warmth becomes more pronounced, though tempered by the high-altitude breeze that prevents the air from feeling too hot. The traveler finds a shaded spot near a gently sloping rock face and rests. The silence here is different from the silence of the night, less mysterious perhaps, but equally soothing. The hum of the wind remains, but now the traveler can also hear the buzz of small insects, the occasional flap of bird wings, and the soft trickle of the stream in the distance. Gazing upward, the traveler sees clouds drifting across the broad sky, slowly shape-shifting as they sail past. From time to time, the clouds part and let a beam of sunlight illuminate the land like a spotlight, revealing the vivid textures of rock and grass. As the afternoon progresses, the traveler gradually wends their way along a ridge, cresting a small rise that overlooks a broader valley below. The valley is dotted with patches of scrubland and meandering tracks where local animals roam. Beyond, the snow-capped peaks stand like loyal sentinels. The traveler feels the hush of reverence again, as though each element of the landscape, rock, wind, water, mountain, forms part of an immense symphony that plays continuously, whether humans are present to hear it or not. A gentle sadness stirs in the traveler's heart at the recognition of how fleeting a single visit is, but the sadness is tempered by profound appreciation. Even a moment in such a place can leave a lifelong impression of peace. Deciding to linger a little longer, the traveler sets up a small rest area, unrolling a thin mat and unpacking a simple meal. Each bite is savored: a piece of bread, some dried fruit, a bit of cheese. The traveler notices how hunger has sharpened the senses, making these humble foods seem like a banquet. The breeze cools the skin, the sun warms the face, and each breath remains a reminder of how thin yet invigorating the air can be. Thoughts of daily life in the distant world fade into insignificance, replaced by the immediate presence of this grand and gentle environment. Here, the traveler has no obligations but to be at peace. When the meal is finished, the traveler lies back, gazing at the immense dome of sky. Time seems to pause again, no sound but the whisper of wind. The high elevation can make one drowsy, a unique blend of mild fatigue and deep calm The traveler's eyelids flutter, and for a few moments a daydream takes hold. Images float in, ephemeral and soothing, a memory of starlit skies, of distant bells, of softly fluttering prayer flags. The traveler dozes, embraced by the elements, feeling utterly safe within this gentle, unbroken silence. Sometime later, the traveler rouses, blinking in the shifting light as the clouds part. The sun has dipped toward the western peaks, painting the valley in pastel hues. It is that magical hour where day begins to yield to evening, the landscape offering a farewell glow. The traveler rises, folding the mat and gathering any scattered belongings. With mindful steps, the journey continues, this time winding back toward the direction of the small monastery glimpsed the night before. Though no pressing duty calls, there is a quiet curiosity to see if the gates of that humble sanctuary are open. It is a short walk, perhaps a mile or two, across gentle inclines covered in hardy shrubs. As the traveler approaches, the monastery's outline becomes clearer. Modest in size, it seems built from sturdy stones that echo the colors of the surrounding land. Muted grays, soft browns, subtle reds. At the gate, a simple wooden door stands slightly ajar. The traveler steps through, bowing the head in respect. Inside the courtyard, there are small prayer wheels arranged in a row. A flick of the traveler's hand sets them spinning gently, each turn accompanied by a soft, metallic whisper. A sense of quiet reverence fills the air. The monastery itself seems asleep in the late afternoon light, with no monks immediately visible. Nevertheless, the energy of devotion is palpable in the courtyard. A large stone statue of a meditative figure stands in one corner, its expression serene, as though absorbing the universal calm. The traveler walks slowly around, taking in the details of carved symbols on the walls, faded murals telling stories of enlightened beings and cosmic journeys. The wind slips through the courtyard, making a faint hum as it passes between stones. It feels like a reminder of how all things, even stone walls and statues, participate in the breathing rhythm of the land. After this silent communion, the traveler departs the monastery and follows a path that curves behind the structure, leading up a gently sloping hillside. From there, a vantage point reveals the wide plateau once more, and the traveler can see the campsite from the previous night far in the distance. The memory of the stars overhead floats into consciousness, and a wave of calm wells up again. That memory is not separate from the present moment. It lives within the traveler, a vivid mosaic of starlight and cool breezes stored in the heart's treasury. The traveler stands there looking out at the horizon, which glows with the orange-pink hue of the sinking sun. Soon, night will descend again, bringing back the shimmering tapestry overhead. Deciding to remain near the monastery for another evening, the traveler moves to a spot sheltered by a cluster of rocks. The ground is relatively flat, and the vantage allows for an open view of the sky. Once again, the routine unfolds, laying out the tent, smoothing the sleeping mat, and preparing for another nighttime vigil of quiet wonder. Perhaps there will be tea once more, or a simple meal. Everything is done slowly with care as the wind picks up ever so slightly, carrying the mild fragrance of the day's cooling air. When darkness finally settles, the plateau begins its nightly transformation. The sky, unobstructed by clouds, blossoms into a galaxy of twinkling points. Once again, the traveler is filled with awe at the sheer scope of the heavens, the Milky Way arching across the sky like a luminescent river. The traveler sits upon a small rock, wrapped in a blanket for warmth, letting the cosmic view fill every sense. No noise intrudes, no thought disrupts. This is pure presence, a quiet union with nature's grandest display. The traveling mind finds solace in the knowledge that each star, distant and ancient, is part of a vast tapestry that continually unfolds. In this stillness, the plateau's nighttime pulse can be felt as more than a backdrop. It is a living presence, the traveler's heartbeat in tune with the gentle hum of wind, the faint echo of chanting that might drift from the monastery's corridors, and the endless swirl of celestial light above. Everything merges into a gentle symphony of serenity. The body grows lighter, the mind empties of concerns, and a deep acceptance washes over the traveler's being. Here, in this remote, high place, it becomes clear that nature herself can be the most comforting companion, a balm for the spirit that seeks rest. Long minutes, perhaps hours, pass in contemplative silence before the traveler returns to the tent. Setting aside any lingering wakefulness, the traveler slips into the warmth of blankets. The wind's lullaby continues, a slow rhythmic hush that rises and falls. The body feels weightless, as though floating on a sea of air, each breath a gentle wave. The traveler's eyelids close, releasing consciousness into the quiet realm of sleep. Beyond the tent fabric, the stars shine on, steadfast and bright. Gradually, all that remains is a cocoon of stillness, a soft oblivion of rest. Day will come again, and the traveler might wander further or stay put, listening to the call of the plateau. Either way, the core of this place, the unchanging calm, will remain, ready to cradle any weary soul who seeks it. The plateau's gift is one of presence, a gentle nudge back to the silence within. And now you, who have journeyed with this story, imagine yourself drifting in your own cozy space, as though the hush of the Tibetan highlands wraps around you, guiding you toward the soft embrace of slumber. Feel your breath slow, each inhale cool and refreshing, each exhale warm and releasing. Nothing else is needed in this moment. No tasks, no striving, simply the soothing hush that settles like a gentle blanket, comforting every muscle in your body. Let your arms grow heavy. Let your legs sink deeper into the surface beneath you. Allow any remaining thoughts to float away on the same wind that brushes across the plateau's ancient slopes. In the vastness of this quiet, your mind can let go, you can surrender to the gentle tide of sleep, secure in the knowledge that the stars will keep their watch. Hear the soft breathing of the night breeze, inviting you to join in restful slumber. Each breath draws you closer to the heart of calm, closer to the tender darkness that nurtures your body, mind, and spirit. There is no need for analysis or reflection now. There is only a steady, comforting release into the kind arms of rest. Let your eyelids feel heavier still, as though the weight of the entire sky gently presses them closed. Notice how your heartbeat remains steady, lulling you further into that peaceful state where dreams come without effort. The hush deepens, and all you hear is a gentle awareness of your own breath. In the imagination, the stars above continue to glow, sending quiet rays of starlight into your dreams. There is nothing to hold on to now, nothing to resist. Just the gentle surrender to a vast, tranquil space within. Allow yourself to rest in this silence. Feel it cradle you. You are safe, enveloped by the warmth of your own breath and the softness of your resting place. Embrace this stillness, this effortless floating into relaxation. Let the night sky of Tibet serve as your guardian, a cosmic expanse that soothes and reassures. You are exactly where you need to be, in the comforting arms of night, at peace with the hush of the winds, the quiet of high-altitude stillness. Good night, dear traveler. Sleep well